Buenos días, clase, ¿cómo están? ¿Están todos bien? Excelente. Hoy vamos a estudiar el presente de los verbos regulares. Okay? Present tense of the regular verbs. Let's see what that is. Surprise. Okay, bien. Okay. Well, even before we say anything, in order to talk about activities in any languages, you need to use conjugated verbs. And a verb is a word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence. For instance, Mary sings every day. Here we have our subject, here we have our action, and here we have the rest of the sentence. Okay? So, in Spanish, it's very similar. Okay, so we have our verbs exist normally in the infinitive form. And the infinitive form is the base form of the verb. The infinitive form, in English, it has a to in front of the verb. For instance, to go, to be, to ask, to fight, to understand, to walk, to read, to eat. So we have to plus the verb equals infinitive. Okay? Bien. Now, to sing. In Spanish, we have our infinitives, but our infinitives are a little bit different. For instance, our infinitives, the equivalent of the to form is at the end of each verb. And we have three different infinitives, the ones that end in AR, the ones that end in ER, and the ones that end in IR. And this is our to. Okay? El infinitivo. To sing, cantar. Same thing, different language. Okay? Bien. So, but when we're going to talk and communicate with people, we don't say Mary to sing, right? That doesn't mean anything. So we don't say yo cantar either. We have to do something to the verb in order for the sentence to make sense. That means to conjugate the verbs according to the person who is speaking. So when I say Mary sings, and I add an S at the end, and I get rid of the to, and then I'm conjugating the verb according to Mary. Well, in Spanish, yo canto. And then we get rid of the AR, and we add an O, and voila, we have a sentence that makes sense. Okay? And it tells us, once you conjugate the verb, it tells us who's doing the action, okay? And when is the person doing the action? In the present, in the past, in the future. In this case, we're doing the action in the present. Mary, where is Mary? Mary sings in the present, and yo canto in the present. ¿Claro? Perfecto. Entonces, now, we need to do this too for every single person that does an action. So, you take away the infinitive marker, which is AR, and then you add O. So these are a group of verbs that end in AR, and they are all going to do this, and that's why they're called regular verbs. They're regular because they all do the same thing. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis. Remember, this is in Spain. Y ellos hablan. Okay? So, we strip the verb of the AR, we stay with the habl part of the verb, and we have these endings, and now we can speak in sentences. The same thing for a group of regular verbs that end in ER. You strip the verb of this infinitive ending, and you add these other endings. Yo bebo, tú bebes, él bebe, nosotros bebemos, vosotros bebéis, ellos beben. Okay, so we get the bub part of the verb, and we have these endings, and the same for verbs that end in IR. We take the IR and we add these endings, yo vivo, tú vives, él vives. Notice that these two are the same except the nosotros forms. The nosotros forms and the vosotros forms are different. Here we have hemos, and here we have imos. Here we have A's, here we have E's. ¿Claro? excelente. Bien, now, ¿cómo formamos las conjugaciones en español? So, how do we form these darn conjugations in Spanish? Well, here they are. Here are your endings, and you memorize this for each type of regular verb, and you will be able to speak. And remember that in order to conjugate the verbs, you need to get rid of the infinitive ending. Out. And then you add this ending. Cantar, yo canto. Comer, yo como. Vivir, yo vivo. And then if you make yourself a little chart like this, you'll always be able to remember. Okay? Bien. Adelante. Now, here's a group of verbs that are regular, that end in AR, and you need to know these verbs because these are very common verbs that we use. Bailar, to dance, repeat with me. Buscar, to look for. And remember that the entire verb gustar means to look for. So you don't need to add a for after. It's already looking for. Okay? Cantar, cenar, comprar, contestar, conversar, desayunar, descansar, desear, dibujar, enseñar, escuchar, esperar, estudiar, explicar, hablar, llegar, llevar, mirar, necesitar, practicar, preguntar, preparar, regresar, terminar, tomar, trabajar y viajar. Ok, bien, excelente. Ahora, here's a group of verbs that end in ER and another group of verbs that ends in IR. Aprender, beber, comer, comprender, correr, creer, deber, leer. Now, IR, abrir, asistir. Now, notice that asistir, and you need to remember this, means to attend. Means to attend. Many of you, for some reason in the past, and it happens every single year, many of you like to say atender. But atender, it is a verb in Spanish, but it doesn't mean to attend. So keep in mind that when you want to say, yo asisto a Chaffey College, you have to say asistir, no atender. ¿Claro? Compartir, to share, decidir, describir, escribir, recibir y vivir. ¿Claro? Muy bien, clase. Now, here we have a little homework for you to do. Por ejemplo, el verbo es bailar. Ellos bailan en las discotecas. Yo barro. This means to sweep. Mi habitación todos los días. Él lava los platos. Los estudiantes escriben mucho. ¿Ok? Bien. Claro. And then here we have some questions. ¿Dónde vives? Yo vivo en Rancho Cucamonga. ¿Ok? Bien. Okay. So try to do this on your own, and if you have any questions, you know where I am. Email me, text me in this group me. I don't know if you belong to that, but you should. Or just leave a message in any of the ways that you can message me. Okay, have a great day.